Um, I'll, I'll hand it over to you, Ellie.
Thanks, Ron. Well, welcome everybody. As I said last week in our session, I feel like as the outside world sort of gets busier and busier as we get close to Christmas, that a great thing to do in our yoga practice is just take things down a notch and make sure that our systems are balanced and that we're feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. So we're going to have a quiet session today. Um, so before we start, a couple of useful things. If you've got like a little cushion or some blocks, or you can use a pillow or a blanket, something like that, that will be helpful for our class today. So let's begin just sitting on our mats and sitting comfortably. So you can be cross-legged, you can have your legs out in front, you can sit on a chair if you need to. Now, if you have a feeling when you're sitting that your spine is sinking, that it's hard to sit up straight, then take some height underneath your sitting bones, which then makes it easier to balance the crown of your head right over the base of your spine and have that nice upright feeling through the spine and through the chest. So establish that sitting posture. Feel the contact of your sitting bones pressing down into the floor, into the support, and extend up through the spine so that the chest is lifted, the waist is long, the crown of the head is extending up towards the ceiling. And onto that lift, just let the shoulders relax. Rest the hands on the lap and close your eyes. And let's begin by tuning into our breath. Just noticing the rising, the expanding sensation of the inhalation and the softening or the falling sensation of the exhalation. So wherever you can feel that, perhaps the abdomen, perhaps into the chest, just take a moment now to tune in, really observing the breath up close, observing the physical sensations of the breath. And then bring your palms together in front of the chest and press the palms quite actively against each other so that the effect of that is to open up that space within the chest. We're just going to do a few cycles of breath now where we're really slowing the inhalation and the exhalation down. So as you breathe in, really encourage that breath, that inhalation, to move into contact with the side ribs and the back of the chest as well as the front. And then a slow, smooth exhalation, releasing the breath, maintaining that posture, that openness through the chest. So just 2 or 3 more breaths like that. A slow, soft, gradual inhalation, filling the chest, expanding the rib cage, and slow, soft exhalation. And again, 1 or 2 more cycles of breath, really looking after your posture, even as you're observing the breath and concentrating on the breath. And as you finish your next exhalation, just slowly open your eyes, interlock your fingers, and extend the palms away from you, really spreading right across to the little finger side of the palm, squeezing the elbows in and press the shoulders down. Maintain that as we extend the arms up to the vertical, so drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Just notice there's a tendency here for the elbows to move outwards. See if you can squeeze them in towards each other. And release. I'm going to change the grip of the hand. So you've got one finger on the top. Now change it over so the interlock is the other way. And again, extend, spread across the palms. Really press the palms out in front of you. Shoulders down, elbows in. Extend the arms up. So really sitting as tall as you can as we work with the arms in this position. And release. Release the hands. Extend the arms out to the side. Extend right through to the fingertips. And bring your right arm in front. Take the left one under and then wrap the arms around each other. If you can take the fingertips into the opposite palm, that's great. If the shoulders are quite tight and they don't go that far, just press the backs of the arms against each other. Now, again here, shoulders down, Widen across your upper back and slightly lift the elbows up away from the chest to really open across the upper back. And release. Let's change arms. Take the other one in first. Wrap the right one under. And widen across the upper back. Elbows slightly lifted. And releasing. So now take your right hand and walk it up between your shoulder blades. So I've got the back of the hand flat against my back here. And walking that hand up, open across the chest, extend your left hand up, and bending at the elbow, slide the fingertips towards each other. And if you can, take a grip on the fingertips. If they don't go, just slide the fingertips towards each other. And lengthen through the upper arms towards the tips of the elbows. And release. And on the other side. And what you'll usually find here is that one side is tighter than the other. And that's quite normal. But here we've got a chance to sort of even that up a little bit. So we're trying to work evenly through both sides. Lengthen through the upper arms. If you've got the grip on the fingers, use that grip to open up through the arms, through the shoulders. And release. And let's just walk the hands forward. Press the sitting bones down and keep the chest lifted quite high off the ground. Now, walk the hands in a semicircle over to the right. And as we turn, we're going to turn through the spine in towards that right leg. Keep the breath soft as we're working through these different asanas. And then walk them across to the other side, right round over towards the left. Now turning right from the base of the spine, so through the abdomen, through the chest, in towards your left leg now. And back to the center. And walk the hands back in. And let's just, if you've got your legs crossed, just change the crossover. And now re-establish your posture. So pressing the sitting bones down, extending to the crown of the head. I'm going to extend my left arm up and take it across the right leg. So the back of the hand is pressing against the thigh. Put the fingertips to the floor behind me. Extend right up to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, turn through the spine, the lower spine before you get to the rib cage. Draw the shoulder blades into the back ribs and let the head and let the eyes also go with the turn. And slowly release. And to the other side, extend your right arm up. Cut it across the leg. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale, extend up to the crown of the head. Exhale, turn through the spine, the abdomen, lower chest, upper chest. And release back to the center. Let's come into forward virasana now. So I'm going to come down one end of your mat and take your toes close but not quite touching and lay the shins down onto the mat. So the knees are quite wide, almost as wide as the mat. From here, walk the hands forward, keeping the sitting bones back towards the heels. I'm actively pressing the tops of the feet and the shin bones down into the ground. So the legs are active, they're working. Extend long through the spine, extend long through the back neck. And press the hands down into the mat so the arms are also active. Soften the breath here, full inhalation, full soft exhalations. And then bring the shoulders forward over the hands. Bring the knees in so they're parallel. And still pressing the tops of the feet and the shin bones down. Balance the shoulders right over the hands. And now press down through the hands, through the arms, and draw the navel towards the back of the spine. Lengthen down through the tailbone, down through the back neck. Moving into concave back to neutral. And now back the other way. Press the hands, lift the chest and look forward, and lift the tailbone up and back to a neutral back. Let's tuck the toes under and slowly press up into a downward facing dog. So just taking some time here to open up through both hands and both feet And especially for this first one, don't take the heels to the ground, but press into the balls of the feet, have the heels slightly lifted so that you can really get that drive and that length up through the legs. So lift the shins out of the fronts of the ankles. Press your front thighs back onto the thigh bones so that the backs of the thighs open more. Also press the hands actively down into the ground to drive up through the arms and lift the chest up and back off the hands. From here, let's extend our right leg up, so lifting the heel up towards the ceiling, bending at the knee, and step that right foot forward between the hands. So we're in quite a high lunge. The hips are up, the spine is extending long, extend down through the arms. Now here, press the feet actively down into the floor so the legs are working to support the extension through the spine. And to swing back, press the hands down, take that right leg back, re-establish your dog pose, and then lifting the left leg up, lift the heel up towards the ceiling, bending the knee in, step it forward through the hands. And here, if you find it's quite difficult to get the foot forward, you can be up on a bit of height. You can put your hands up on some blocks or use a chair. Press the feet down, extend through the spine, and back into dog pose. And now walk your hands back towards your feet for Uttanasana. So I've got my feet quite wide, a little bit wider than my hips, and I'm hinging right at the hips, extending the spine down against the legs. So here we want the legs to be really active. Open up the feet and press them down into the ground. Drive up through the backs of the legs to the sitting bones and extend down through the spine. Soften the breath. And then just slowly rolling yourself up to standing. And let me just adjust the camera a little for you. So we're just going to do a few very easy, slow salutes this morning. So come to the front of your mat. And again, as I often say, if you find it difficult to step back and forth when you do the salutes, having some blocks underneath the hands, or also you can put a chair in front of your mat and have the hands down onto the chair. So standing with the feet underneath the hips, crown of the head over the heels. And inhale, extend the arms up into Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, extend the fingertips to the floor. Inhale, extend long through your right leg, step it back into a lunge. And exhale, step forward. Inhale, extend the left leg back, long lunge. Now exhale back into dog pose, so press the hands down, front foot goes back. Inhale, come forward over the hands, so really open up the palms, press them down, and knees to the floor, sit back over the heels. Keeping the feet pressing, and we're going to scoop through, inhaling, widen between the elbows, chest between the hands, and press into upward facing. Draw the back thighs up towards the buttock crease. Exhaling back into downward facing dog. And inhale, we're going to bend the knees, look forward and widen across the chest. As you exhale, we're either going to jump the feet forward or just step the feet forward. And inhale, extend the arms up into Urdhva Hastasana, straighten through the legs. And exhale, bring the hands down to the side. Let's do another one. So inhaling, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, Uttanasana, hands to the floor. Inhale, extend your right leg back. And exhaling forward. Inhaling, left leg back. Exhaling, dog pose, front foot to back foot. Inhale, come forward over the hands, press the hands wide across the chest. Exhale, sit back over the heels. And scoop through upward facing. Press the hands, engage the inner buttocks. Exhaling back into downward facing. Inhale, bend the knees, widen across the chest. And exhale, jump or step the feet forward. Inhale, extend the arms up, straighten through the legs. And exhale, release. Last one. Keep this last one really smooth and even. So inhaling, extend the arms. Exhaling, hands to the floor. Inhaling, right leg back. Long spine, long leg. Exhaling forward. Inhaling, left leg back. Exhaling, dog pose. Inhale, come forward over the hands. Press the hands. Exhaling, sit back, press the feet. Inhale, widen between the elbows. Scoop up. And exhaling back. Inhale, bend your knees, widen across the chest. Exhale, jump or step forward. Inhale, extend the arms up. And exhale, release. Great. Okay, let's take it down a little notch now. Let's get some work happening through the legs. So for this next one, be lying down flat on your back. You need a little block or a rolled up blanket. And also, if you've got a belt, or I don't have a belt today, but I've got this string off my my keys. So something that you can hook around your feet and laying yourself right back and let the back of the body rest into the floor. Extend out through the legs to the heels. Now, bend your right knee in and catch hold of the shin bone. Use your hands to catch hold of the shin and draw that leg, draw that thigh right in towards the chest. As you do that, try not to let the left leg lift up, but keep extending right through to the heel, keeping the breath soft. Now, you're going to take your belt and lasso around your foot and extend the leg up to the vertical. Now, if you don't have a belt handy with you, you can interlock the hands behind the thigh. But you can use anything here, the arm of a jumper, a sock. But pressing the foot actively into that belt, extending up through the arms, out through the legs. Soften the breath. Really press your right front thigh onto the thigh bone so that the back of the leg opens more. Flex your toes back towards you and extend to the heel. Now take this block or blanket right in against your right hip. Take the belt in your right hand, left hand out at shoulder height, and we're going to extend that leg out to the side. But as we do that, really keep that left side of your lower back in contact with the floor. So the pelvis isn't tipping or rolling, but it stays stable and we extend the leg out off that. Extend out through both legs, right through to the heels. Extend out through both arms. Open across the chest. Press the foot into the belt actively. And then bring that leg back up to the vertical. Change hands. And take the leg now a little bit across your midline, just enough so that you feel that opening, that lengthening through the outer or the back of the leg there. Press the foot and draw this right hip down out of the waist so that right side waist is long. And release. Take off the belt and now release that right leg out. So let's do all of that again on the other side. You can stay. I'm just changing so you can see better. Start by extending out through both legs to the heels, long through the spine, and catch hold of your left shin. Draw the leg in towards the chest. Extend long through your right leg. Full soft breath. Now grab your belt, lasso your foot, and extend that left leg up to the vertical. So we want the foot to be facing towards the ceiling. If the back of the leg is very tight and it's more on this angle, you can bend the underneath leg so that you can pull that heel a little bit further up towards the ceiling. If you can get that 90-degree angle, then really extend back out through the right leg And work on pressing your front thigh onto the thigh bone so that the back of the leg opens. Press the foot into the belt, extend through the arms, extend through the right leg. Full soft breath. Now taking the support in against your hip, take the belt in your left hand and extend the leg all the way out to the side. Just adjusting the position of that support so that it stops your pelvis from tipping, but it allows you to take that leg out to the side. Extend out now through both legs, through both arms, and soften the breath. And then slowly bringing that leg back up to the vertical. Change hands and take it across the midline. Press the foot into the belt. Draw that hip down out of the side waist. And release. So now let's bend both knees in towards our chest and reach up and grab hold of your feet. So the knees can be quite bent here. Also, the lower back can come a little off the floor. That's okay. So wrap the hands over the tops of the feet and pull back with the arms so that your upper back and the backs of the shoulders are laid flat to the floor. Now, I'm just going to slowly press the feet into the hands and see if I can get a bit of opening through the backs of the legs. Now, it's not important that the legs come completely straight here, but what we're doing is just working the hands and the feet against each other to get a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more movement through the backs of the legs. So just a few times easing on and off, really pressing the front thighs onto the thigh bones. See if we can get that length coming all the way through the backs of the legs. Okay, and then release the hands and release the feet to the floor. So bring the heels in quite close to the hips and have your heels at least as wide as your hips, if not a little wider. Widen across your shoulders and extend down through the arms and grab hold of the edges of your mat. So I'm pressing the backs of the shoulders and the upper arms down into the mat, pressing the heels down into the mat, and off that action of the heels, I'm going to lift the hips up. So driving up through the shin bones, lengthening through the thigh bones, pressing the upper arms down to release the back ribs, slowly moving into Chatuspadasana. Keep the breath soft, keep the face soft, and then slowly rolling the back ribs back down to the floor. And just let the knees rest in against each other, the feet wide. We're going to do that one more time. Just a couple of recovery breaths here. And then again, press the heels, extend through the arms, grab hold of the edges of the mat. Now press those heels down, press the shoulders and the back arms down, and then slowly rolling the hips up. So that action to lift the hips is really coming off the drive of the heels down into the ground. Top buttock towards the bottom buttock, so the pelvis is tucking under and the back waist is long. Lengthen through your front thighs towards your knees. Really press the heels down to drive up through the shin bones. So the legs are working. It's quite an active asana. It's quite an active pose, but let the breath be soft and let the face be soft. Soft around the jaw and the throat. Active legs, active upper arms and shoulders. Easy, soft breath. And then slowly rolling ourselves back down to the ground. And hug the knees in towards the chest. Release there for a minute. And slowly rolling ourselves to the side. And bring yourself up to sitting. So Let's do a few forward bending postures now. So I find it really helpful for these ones if you have a little bit of height underneath the buttocks. So let's start sitting up on a cushion or a pillow and extending the legs out. Extend right through to the heels and sit tall. Extend up to the crown of the head. You're going to bend your right leg and take the foot against the left inner thigh. So pressing the heel and the ball of the foot against the inner thigh and extending up through the arms, hinging right from the base of the spine and extending forward. So you're going to catch hold of that leg. It might be the shin, you might be able to catch hold of the foot, wherever is working for you. But I want my back to be straight, so I'm not curling the back over to try and walk the hands down further. I actually want the bend to come right from the hips so that the pelvis is moving forward against the legs. So take that grip on that left leg or the left foot and then use the hands to draw the chest towards the foot. So the spine is long. As you do that, press the back of this left leg down into the ground and press the right foot against the inner thigh. So the legs are active, supporting the extension through the spine. And up you come. And let's change sides, extending the right leg out, bending the left leg in. Extend all the way through to the heel. Press the back of this right thigh down into the mat. Press the left foot against the inner thigh. Inhale, extend the arms up. And exhale, extend forward. Catch hold of the leg or the foot and work the hands and the foot against each other to lengthen through the spine, drawing that chest forward towards the foot, making sure that this back leg doesn't lift up as I extend forward. Press the foot into the hands, keeping the breath soft and even as we go. And up we come. So now let's go both legs into Paschimottanasana. So extending through to the heels, draw the toes back towards you, press the sitting bones down, press the front thighs down. Inhale, extending both arms up, and exhale, reach forward, catching hold of the feet or the shins. So here, really press the back thighs down into the floor. Lengthen through the spine, right through to the chest, and soften the breath. As you exhale, see if you can release forward, right from the base of the spine, a little bit more. Keeping the legs active, the front thighs pressing down, and up we come. Let's take the legs a little wider now. So you don't have to do the full splits here. Just take the feet apart, but just to the point where you feel that you can still sit tall and balance the crown of the head right over the base of the spine. Extend out through both legs to the heels and press the backs of the thighs down into the mat by pressing the front thighs. Extend the arms out to the side. Extend out over the right leg. So you catch hold of the shin and extend that arm all the way over. If this is easy, you can catch hold of the foot. Really press the backs of the thighs down and now turn that left side of the body up towards the ceiling. So against the action of the legs opening across the spine, across the chest, and up we come. And to the other side, extend out through the legs, catching hold of the foot or the leg, extending your right arm all the way over. Palm of the hand turn so it faces the floor. Press the legs, open across the trunk, across the pelvis, across the chest. Turn that right side up towards the ceiling. And up we come. Now we're going to turn so that we're facing and looking over the right foot. So turning right from the base of the spine. Reach forward with your left hand and catch hold of the shin or the foot. And now we're turning and extending forward over that leg. Again here, press the back of the leg down into the ground to support the extension through the trunk. And up we come. And to the other side, turning. Extend out through to the left heel. Press the back of the left thigh down and turning, extending, and catch hold of the foot or the shin, extending forward over the left. Quite active through the back of that left leg. Press the back of the thigh down, long through the spine. And release. Up we come. And let's fold forward into the forward Virasana again. So toes together, knees wide, walk the hands forward. Press the feet, press the shins, extend through the spine. So you can let the head rest this time, either onto the floor or put a cushion under the forehead, and soften the breath. And walking the hands in. So let's really start to wind it down now. Come over onto your back, and we're going to go back into Supta Baddha Konasana. So here, the soles of the feet are pressing together. So the heels and the balls of the feet pressing together. Bring the heels up close to the base of the spine and then lay yourself back. Now, you want to check out the balance between the action of the left foot pressing and the right foot pressing. So the feet are really meeting evenly in the middle. Extend the arms out to the side. Let the weight of the head and the chest release into the ground. Also soften through the arms. So here the legs are working, the feet are pressing, but the whole upper body area is soft, neutral. Slow down the breath. It's a slightly longer inhalation and then a full exhalation. Just maintaining that gentle pressure between the feet. And as you press the feet, excuse me, lengthen through the inner thighs towards the knees so that the knees move down towards the floor a little more. And then slowly bring the knees back up together. And we're just going to end the class today with some relaxation in Shavasana. So there's two options here. You can either lay yourself out flat on your back. You want to make sure that you're comfortable so you can take a blanket under the head or any support you need. Now, another nice option is to put the backs of the legs up on a chair or a couch if you've got one. So you want the whole back of the lower leg resting onto that support. And this is also a nice option if you've got a back that's a bit niggly or some lower back problems. Being in that position with the leg supported is quite helpful. But I'll lay us out in Shavasana. So we're going to start with our legs bent and the arms bent, so up onto the forearms. So you want to really present the lower back, that sacrum area, to the floor. And from there, lay your spine out as long as you can. So really taking care as you lie down that you get that maximum length through the back of the body. From there, draw the shoulders down, away from the neck, the shoulder blades down the back, and lay the arms out, palms facing up, about 45 degrees out from the body. Now, slowly, one by one, extend out through the legs without disrupting that length and that balance that you've established through the rest of the body. Now here, before we relax, Just actively extend out through both arms and both legs and check out the balance between the two sides of your body, left to right. Do you feel like you've laid yourself out evenly? Do you need to make any adjustments? And once you're happy that you feel even, just let go. Let the feet drop open to the sides as you soften the legs. Let the weight of the arms release into the floor. And let the weight of the head release into the floor. So you feel the contact of the back of the head against the mat. And then let the skin on the face soften. Let the forehead soften. Close your eyes. Soften around the jaw. Soften around the throat. Let the backs of the shoulders release into the floor and the shoulder blades. As you exhale, soften through the chest. Release the backs of the ribs into the floor. Release right through the arms, into the hands, into the fingers and thumb. Now let the weight of the pelvis release into the floor. Feel the contact of the lower back and the buttocks resting into the floor. And soften around the hips and the thighs, right through the legs into the feet and the toes. As you release and soften through the body, you can begin to bring your attention to the breath. And here in the Shavasana, we're looking to smooth out the breath so that it becomes even, just little by little. See if you can extend the timing of both the in-breath and the out-breath. So it's a slightly fuller and longer inhalation and exhalation. As you breathe in, as you inhale, encourage the breath to move into contact with the sides of the ribs and the back of the chest close to the spine. And as you exhale, let the chest and the abdomen soften completely, especially towards the end of the breath. Use the inhalation to really open up and expand the space within the chest. A slow, soft breath in, and then a full exhalation all the way through to the end of the breath. And look after the transitions between the two parts of the breath. So as you finish the inhalation, can that turn around into the next exhalation be smooth? Also then as you finish your exhalation, see if the uptake into the next inhalation can be smooth and seamless. So you start to feel that real sense of circularity in the breath. Every time you exhale, soften the whole body, let the weight of the body release to the floor, soften the chest, soften the abdomen. So as you let go of the breath, there's also that corresponding sense of letting go through the whole body. Really keep your attention focused now on the breath. If you start to feel yourself getting distracted or thinking, just notice that and turn the attention back to the breath, back to the feeling of the inhalation and the exhalation. Smooth, slow, soft breath. Just a couple more of these slower, fuller breaths here. Smooth, expansive inhalation, full, soft exhalation. And then just allow your breath to return to sort of a natural, everyday kind of a rhythm. So you're not slowing it or changing it in any way. And then slowly bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor. And as you're ready, roll yourself over onto your side. And then bring yourselves up to sitting. Thanks, everybody. That concludes our session for today. Hope you all have a great week. And I'll be back on Thursday with chair yoga and look forward to seeing some of you then. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ellie. Have a good day.
You too.
Hi, Ron. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sophie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?